has in fact gone ahead and broken Sachin Tendulkar's mark. He's now become the second man, only the second man in history to make 200 plus runs in one-day internationals. As Ayaz and I was saying, if there was ever a man we thought would get to 200, it has to be Sehwag. He's actually now gone ahead of Sachin Tendulkar's mark as well. He's right now ahead of 200. Remember, Sachin Tendulkar had made 200 not out against and Sehwag now is on 201 not out. Still some overs to go. He's there on the middle. So really, this is a historic day in the world of cricket because we have two batsmen, iconic batsmen who've made 200s in one-day internationals, and both of them are Indians, and both of them really iconic batting, redefining batsmen, Sachin Tendulkar and Sehwag. But what a historic moment it is for cricket and especially for India.
Oh, absolutely, and you know, it's words really fail me when you talk about this innings today. I mean, you have two batsmen in the world who've crossed their double century mark. Of course, Sachin on 200 not out, but Sehwag, the man you expected, the man everybody expected to get to that figure first, has done it, and in style, and he's got a lot more to possibly score today. Ayaz, if you're there with us, any bets on how much he's going to end today on?
One thing I've learned in the last 10 years is don't bet on anything where Sehwag is concerned. So, you know, it would be very hazardous. I think one has to just kind of rejoice in his mark, as I mentioned earlier. You know, 2 or 3 years back, it seemed that he would be the first person to break the 200 barrier. He was beaten to it by Sachin, but here he is. He's proved that he can, you know, he's the most destructive batsman in contemporary cricket.
Oh, absolutely, and what a way in which he's stamped his mark on today's game, and on this entire series. You don't see a double 100 in one-day international very often. Both these coming from Indian players. Would you know, there's always talk of, you know, the captain spot putting pressure on a player. You know, Shivani, I mean, what do you make of it?
Well, Roy, I just wanted to emphasize the fact that Sehwag has been called the perennial underachiever in one-day internationals. Don't forget, when he crossed that 100-run mark today, it was only his 15th one-day international century. And he's always been, people always feel that what he has achieved in Test cricket was somehow not the same in one-day internationals. And yes, figures do show that. Somehow he never quite was himself was the batsman that he has been for India in Test. He wasn't quite the same in one-day internationals. We always felt that Sehwag really should have and could have done a lot more. But yes, if there was ever a question about who should make, you know, the biggest score, the highest score in one-day internationals, given his explosive batting form, we always thought it was going to be Sehwag. I just wanted to go to Ayaz with this. Ayaz, will this kind of set the record straight a little bit? Because Sehwag somehow we've always felt that, you know, he hasn't quite had the same run in one-day cricket that he has had in Test. But of course, he has 2 triple tons in Test, 1 double ton. He is the master of big scores in Test, but wasn't quite the same in one-day cricket.